guys do it? Smiley smiles. Shit. Right. Good morning, everyone. It's Monday, and we were away camping for the weekend. It was beautiful, and it was nice to be with friends. The intention for this week, I need to do the Rubio, or get started on the Rubio job. I need to get started on the other big job for Megan. There's stuff for Fane, so there's like small jobs here and there that I'm constantly, Fane kind of just constantly keeps me on a rotation. In between all of that, I'm gonna hopefully do some work on the workshop to get it neat and tidy and in a place that I like it and want it. See you in the workshop. First project for this week is to install a plug point here on this dust extraction beam. Jeepers. That should do quite a lot to help neaten up the place. What's going on here? So the Festool vacuum is working very well, even with my little masking tape joint. Okay, time to put the shoes and socks back on. I know that it triggers you guys when I don't wear shoes. Some of you might like it more than I'd hope. I'm putting them on because I'm going to be doing heavy lifting. I take them off when I feel like it and when I'm doing some cleaning or sanding. Just because I'm a South African boy and it's kind of just how I learned to be comfortable. I have maybe like an hour left before I need to head home. I don't really know how do you, if you're a person that runs your own company and you do both the work and the physical creation and the administrative side, how do you manage? I also need to like exercise my body at some point. Otherwise it's gonna to become a rigor mortis, if that's even the correct word. How do you guys do it? Alright, I am finally getting started on the Rubio job. You see, I've stacked all the wood here and kept it here for about 5 days. This now is kind of acclimatized to my workshop. It's the reason you do that is so that if any movement is going to happen, it happens in those 5 days, and it gets used to your space, so that if you cut, you laminate, all those sorts of things, there'll be hopefully less movement. It is oak. It is humid at the moment. I will not be surprised if there is more movement, but also laying it flat with other boards on top of it prevents any potential. It doesn't prevent, but it helps with movement. I will show you guys now on the flat tabletop how these top ones have moved. There we go, this one. Let's take this one over there and show you. Right, over there. Let's see, it's bowed a little bit. There's a light bow. All this wood came from Rare Woods with 3 of the edges surfaced. It's S3S. Ideally you would get like an S4S, but it costs more. And with an S3S, then I can at least judge the width myself and then cut as wide of a board as possible. You use this clean edge then as your edge on the saw fence, and you cut the length or the width that you want. And yeah, so that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to cut probably a few. I want to try to get at least like 2 or 3 panels, hopefully 4 panels glued up before I leave today, as the main structures of these things. I'll show you guys probably tomorrow the design and layout of this whole thing, so you get a sort of an idea of what I have to build. Okay, what I'm going to do next is trim off the edges. I don't necessarily have to do this. I just want to do it so that I can expose the grain and know whether or not I am gluing it with the smile and the frown next to each other. I will show you physically what that looks like once I've done them all. It's not to get them to length right now, so I'm just going to take like maybe 0.5 centimeter off, and then I can stack them next to each other, pick my boards to see which ones look good next to each other, and also make sure that their grain directions are opposing each other, and hopefully get some nice straight boards. Smile. This one's got a bit of a wavy grain, so that's kind of essentially my smile, but it's got a wave there, and then that way would be frown. Lighting is nice, and I can now show you guys here. You'll see this grain. I'll just draw on the exact grain, making that smiley smiles. There's a little smile. So ideally, when you are gluing up boards, you want to glue them up this way, because your forces pulling this board that way and your forces pulling board that way will counteract each other and hopefully keep them flat. There's no promise, but it's better to do these or take these to take the precaution, and you will end up with a better product in the end. End up with a better result. I was going to spend another hour or so here doing sort of like prepping these pieces of wood and getting them biscuited for lamination, but Amy has enticed me with a swim at the beach, and when you live in Cape Town and it is about 36 degrees outside, you go for a swim. So that's enough woodwork for today. I'm gonna go and hit the beach. Okay, beach was nice, but it's time to get back to work. Gotta process all this wood now. Not looking forward to it, but must just get done. Just have to take a quick break. The white oak is exceedingly heavy, and so it's quite tough on the body, especially my back. Lugging it off the ground and then putting it onto the table saw and then running it through the table saw and taking it back to the ground. It's quite a process. What I'm finding is I'm having to cut off both ends, which is quite unfortunate because I was hoping to save material. The S3S, they didn't, I mean they planed the one edge, but it's not neat enough for me to actually laminate a perfectly straight edge, so I'm having to cut it with my finishing blade. The blade that I have leaves a perfectly finished edge, so you can just laminate from there. And also a lot of the edges have a like scuff marks and chip outs and that sort of stuff, so I have to cut that off. Okay, let's get back to it. Got my sweeties in. Time to work. Next thing on the cards now is for me to sort through this wood that I've now cut. There's a bunch more sitting there that I've done and finished. There's this pile and there's another pile that I haven't even started on. I need to take a break. It's pretty hardcore on the body. So I'm going to start sorting through these to get the same widths, and then I have to arrange so that I can get a 400 width with as little waste as possible, because the board's going to be 400 at the bottom. It's going to go up, I think, about 400 as well, and then it's going to taper off to 300. So yeah, I just need to make sure that I'm getting matched wood as efficiently as possible with the grain directions in the right direction. It's quite a complicated process, but I need to go through this process in order for everything to work out properly, and for this thing to last a lifetime. 17 plus 13 is 30, so that's my 300, and then I just need 10 to make it 400. What I will now do is mark up my panels. I'll write here 1, 2, 3. I'll make it P1, so for panel 1, and then I'll put in my direction. Height, so if I cut off a bit of the bottom, a bit of the top, that gives me my full 2 meter length. At Stock Woodworks we use only the best Ryobi, a machine that I bought secondhand probably almost 10 years ago now, and it was probably at least 10 years old then. It still works just fine. You don't need insanely high-end things for every product that you make. Sometimes it's good to just use what you have, and I mean, this isn't actually even that much of a necessary tool to use for this. It just saves me time when it comes to gluing up and getting the alignment right. Okay, done with the glue ups. Well, only got 2 done today, which is really not as much as I was hoping for. I was hoping to have 4 done yesterday. So I'm busy with installing little pins, or little dowel pins that hold spoons in place, because this is a spoon holder. It goes into the center of a carved hollow. I've made it a nice tight fit, fortunately. I just have to make sure that it's very well aligned, otherwise the spoons will sit very skew in the holder. I just kind of reflecting on the fact that I never really thought I would get as much work as I currently have, and I don't know if it's a representation of quality of my work or what it is necessarily. I am happy for it, but I do feel largely like I disappoint a lot of people, or that people are upset with me fairly often, because I'm not, I try to work as fast as possible, but my fast as possible, because of the complexity of what I try to do, results in quite a long time frame for work to be started and finished. I think people have gotten very used to things being pretty immediate, and I could probably employ a bunch of people and get things done out and finished and out fast, but I don't know if I'll be able to cope with the employees and the lack of control I would have then with everything that I make. I know it's something I'm going to have to eventually get used to, but for now I have to just figure out how to not disappoint my clients. Hey, look at you lot. Okay, Wednesday is Cape Town Furniture Week this week, and tonight is the opening night. I am not partaking in exhibition or anything like that, but I will pop in there this evening, see what's happening in furniture in Cape Town. Hopefully next year I'll be a part of it, but for now it's probably for the best because it's just too much work to do. Ugh. Oh. Christ. That hurt a lot. I'm having to cut some of my boards shorter because the clearance behind my table saw isn't long enough, which is very unfortunate, but it's also, the project doesn't require 2.7 meter boards, so it's fine. Should probably sort that out for future projects if ever I do need a longer clearance. Good thing that had to come off anyways. Just got a massive splinter. I have to figure that out before I carry on. That was where the hole went. That is the splinter itself. Tiny. But boy does it hurt. Okay, straight back to it. Okay, it's all cut now. Next thing I gotta do, put in biscuits for the next 6 panels. Time to match wood and choose for a panel again. Okay, that's 4. I think I need to do 2 more, and then I can glue out 2, and then we'll see what else I can get done for the day. Going to the doctor tomorrow. I've had a stabbing pain in the back of my head for this week. Right now I'm getting quite a strong piercing pain in the back of my head, and it's just quite worrying. It's Thursday morning. I am quite spent. My body's quite sore from doing all of this heavy lifting of these boards and processing them. Just to show you guys something as well. This is what my hands look like. End of yesterday, those hands of mine were clean, and then overnight they, what's the word? They turned this dark color, and I went to the doctor this morning for my headaches. Turns out I have an ice pick headache. Very manageable apparently, so that's good. But I was talking to her with these hands and wondering how discussion she thinks I must be. I can use lemon to get that off, so I'm going to try that later. Here it is. Look. These are the panels, glued up and ready for cutting and sanding. That's the sound of a nice flat panel. I'd say bend the legs when you carry this sort of stuff, but I definitely fucking don't do that. Let's try it. Ooh. I'm done in the workshop for today. Unfortunately, I would love to be in there working for the rest of the day, but I have to go to a meeting which is going to almost certainly result in no work. Sometimes you can tell. I'm gonna go and measure up for a kitchen, but I don't think that this guy, it's a leased property, and I think he probably has a different understanding of the type of woodworker that I am. And if the word affordable or cheapest comes up, I might have to just say, sorry bud, it's not the kind of person I am. But I'm going to go because I still have a bunch of paperwork to do. It's in my home neighborhood, so I'm just going to go and then head straight home to do some paperwork and take it a little bit easy. Tomorrow morning I got another meeting first thing with what I suspect will be a very needy client. Not looking forward to that job potentially, but I am going in it with the understanding that there are red flags already. Morning, it's Friday. Probably my last day of filming. I might give you guys a couple of shots of the weekend because we're gonna do the art fair and the furniture fair. As I expected, the meeting yesterday was a fuck up. The guy just didn't show. I'm not gonna go into full detail about that, but yeah, basically I called him, he didn't answer, and waited there for too long, and then decided to leave. I'm off to another meeting now with a lady that I had initially told that I don't have the time to do the job for, because I quite honestly don't. But she called me in the middle of the day and somehow talked me into coming to this meeting. So going to the meeting, I'll see whether or not I can squeeze her in. I don't know if I can. Anyways, then it's off to Rare Woods to pick up some wood, and the hardware store to pick up some other materials, and then to the workshop. So I'll see you at the workshop.
Good. 100%. Cheers, Bree.
Okay, I'm finally back in the workshop after a long morning of bullshit. I get to run this wood through a planer today. I'm looking forward to that. Let's take it easy, everybody. Okay. Back on the table saw. Right. Next thing on the cards is to shift focus from this to floating table and a side table with curved edges. That is a small job that I have to get done in between all of this, but I got the wood from Rare Woods that I now have to process. It's going to cost too much to get them to do that. So, and also based on what I got here, like I still have to do a shitload of work once they've processed it, so might as well do it myself. It's chestnut, so it's lighter than this stuff. This thick piece of wood is probably as heavy as, I think it's lighter than this piece here, which is much thinner. Just over 3 meters. I should have enough to get 2 pieces out of each one and then have left over for other things. It's a very nice straight grain there. I have a feeling that I might have broken or snapped something in here. I was feeding a piece of wood through and it tapered upwards and got thicker at the end, and tried to help it out a bit, not too forcefully, but I heard a bang. Shit. Had a bit of a fuck up, and the chain has come off of its like plastic coupling. It's probably not the right word. Inside of the jointer, and I don't want to spend the next couple of hours trying to fix it, so I'm going to save that for this weekend or tomorrow. Hold off on that other work and glue up some more panels. This is very uninteresting work, but it's very necessary, and I'm starting to worry that I don't have enough wood for the rest of this job. It's scary, but let's hold thumbs that I do have enough wood. Alright, I'm going to finish my week off with just finishing off these spoon holders for Fane. And really, I don't want to spend my time fixing that machine, and I don't want to really get too stuck into anything else. So to finish this off would be nice, and I can deliver it tomorrow morning, because we're coming into town to go to the art and furniture fairs.